Hello. It's approximately 2 o'clock on Sunday. About an hour ago, I gave Brendan a call asking that he would set up a Zoom call so that I could talk to all of you guys before you take your trip and also share with you something that has gone on that it's important. So, uh, I'm inviting each and every one of you, Nadala, no different. I'm inviting you to participate in this moment, this video with me, this experience of me. Whenever you receive it, I hope that you're all watching this together. If I'm not Zoom calling with you, thank you. So, it's been a theme more and more and more in our conversations of living in the present moment, experience life, experience it as if this would be the last time that you could possibly experience that moment with somebody. Embracing more opportunities that arise because you're sensitive to what God is doing and living what I call a Holy Spirit lifestyle. All right. So, over the last 24 hours, I've been traveling back and forth in time with God as He's been revealing things to me about myself and things that might help you, each one of you individually. 3 out of 4 of you are from me, and if you came from me, you share everything that I have added to you. So I understand each of you. Not totally, but I understand you. And Dal, I understand you because you're my brother, and we came from the same life source. We just have some different people in between, but the same source. So we instantly can just quirk together by choice. So the last 24 hours, a lot of things have been going through my mind because of an incident that I did. And so it's an incident that I did back in 1978. And it's an incident that happened yesterday that helped me figure all this out. In 1978 is when the realization that there was a possibility of a relationship with the creator of everything. And when the invitation of basically as far as the east is from the west, I remember your sins no more, your wrongs no more. When I heard that, boy, did that click, because I was raised in Catholicism, and I'm also as a firstborn child. So Patrick, if you ever watch this, you'll relate to this too. Whitney, you'll relate to this now also. But as a firstborn, you're the firstborn. You don't know a lot about yourself as a firstborn. Your parents, if you're alive, made a commitment to getting you alive. But from that point on in life, as the firstborn, for whatever reason, you become an achiever out of spite sometimes because you feel like you never done anything wrong and you should be rewarded because you never did anything wrong. Or you feel um, if there's other kids involved, they became the priorities and stuff. In fact, they got things better than you did, and your life got harder because you got responsibilities, and then your parents are trying to get you ready to go and all that stuff. So being a firstborn sucks. But so does a middle child, and so does a youngest child. They all have their things. Well, I'm a firstborn. So back then, in 1978, I had to do something. Once upon knowing that how much God loved me and how far the east was from the west, that He would not remember any sin anymore, I received grace and mercy, and it became a gift of mine. It gave me an ability to not have my past hold me from the future. I still didn't learn how to live in the present until recently. I've had short spurts along the way. But in 1978, I had to do something. I had to go back home from the military and go back to my family, who I was really screwed up with all the way around. I'm in the military because I beat up my dad, okay? I have an estranged relationship with my mom. My mom, who gave birth to me, said she loved me, at some point decided to love herself more, or she had to escape a situation, never found out. But she rejected me at 12 years old and my brothers and sisters by taking our youngest sibling, who ended up not being a full-blooded sibling, and riding off and starting her own life. She rejected us, and we had to deal with that, each one of us, and we weren't smart enough to figure out how to talk about it or share anything with each other. So I'm sure there's a lot of things that were messed up in me and things. But back to right now. So living in this moment right here, what's happening? Something took place back then. I forgave my mom for doing that. And I used the same thing, what Jesus told me to do. He says, basically, I have unforgiveness in my heart. I have never been totally forgiven, and I truly don't know Him. There's like a layer keeping me from knowing Him completely. And the more that I become like Him, the more I know Him. So, yesterday, I worked real hard, and after I got done working real hard, I went to get some cookies so that I can have some medical marijuana. I didn't have any. So I ended up making some, and as I made some, I laid them out, and I used my syringe, and I applied everything the way I'm supposed to. And I got to a point where I was trying to get some out on one, and then I thought I would pump and spray and see if anything came out and go on to another one. I didn't see nothing happening. So I made all the cookies and put them away, and then that one, well, Flip waits all that time and stuff. I go, oh, there's nothing on there. And I give it to Flip. it was approximately 5 o'clock, if I remember. And didn't think anything of it because nothing came out to my knowledge. But an hour or so later, we feed Flip, and he got a little pieces of sausage that I had, and then he had his food, and then all of a sudden he started staring into space, and then he was just gone. He was like not here, a zombie. Then he started losing his coordination. Then he started losing his ability to hold his urine. He started dripping urine. But he wouldn't leave my side. He would stay right by me. So I also just previously put down a bunch of repellent for wildlife, and Flip followed behind, and I want to make sure it wasn't that too, that he didn't ingest it or smell it or, that doing something to him. But by the time we looked at everything, it was past time to actually do proactive emergency care. You have to go to the vet within a 2-hour period, and all they can do is give IVs and charcoal, and they hope that within a certain period of time your dog will come out of it. Well, Flip progressed and got worse throughout the night, where you can approach him, he would get afraid, think of movements and stuff, and he would have rapid sessions so that he'd be normal, and then he would be totally out of it and stuff. And I had to make a choice at that time. You live by faith, and you live in the moment. And in the realization of my relationship with God, my relationship with Flip, I spoke with Flip, I spoke with God. First thing I did is I took accountability. It was my fault that this possibly happened, and I asked for forgiveness from both Flip and from God. That was my stupidity. But I knew I wasn't limited to that situation. So then I spoke to Flip as if this is the last moment I'm speaking to him. And I told him what he meant to me. I told him how much I needed him. And I told him to fight. And I told him that I would fight with him. And I would be with him. Excuse me for just 1 second. You guys are going on the greatest experience that you possibly could ever have. An opportunity of a lifetime. Grandma and me can't do that right now. Maybe in the future we get ourselves healthier, which I hope we can, but at our current condition, they wouldn't let us. It would be ill-advised. So, enjoy this opportunity that you have. Enjoy the opportunity of doing something that very few ever try. And you get to do it with people that love you, or love being by you, or love just life. Because there may be others out there. Excuse me. Trey, I told this to you Whitney, I told you this the other day. Take the moment and experience God in it. Take the moment and experience yourself in it. You'll talk quickly to yourself. And then experience it with Bobo. Experience it with Dala. Experience it with your mom. And I get the pleasure to experience it with me as we go along on this. You just never know what opportunities life presents to you. So, I laid with Flip all night long in the family room. Either my head or my hand was on him. I promised him I would. I promised him that I wouldn't leave him. And we were going to go through this together. And throughout the night, we went through it together. Then everything the book says it's not supposed to be. Everything you read, no, it's going to take this long. I spoke to Flip again this morning. I asked him to be in the moment with me. I asked him to fight again. And he did. He got up. And he went outside with me. He wasn't all together, but he peed. And he followed me inside. And I fed him. He lapped up some water. Then he went lay down. That was the most he could do. So I stayed with him more. Excuse me for 1 second. So I stay with Flip more. Just my arms around him. Just talking to him and speaking to him. And then I tell him I'm just going to move over here. I'm going to sit away. And he just stared at me and stared at me the whole time. Then I went to the garage and I read my garage door. And I read all the things that I wrote up there about living in the present. And I reminded myself again who I'm in agreement with. And God just kept showing me things in my life and showing me things through scriptures. And through the whole time, I was at peace. I was okay. It's as I started celebrating, and thanking both Flip and God for the relationship.
got better quicker and quicker. We took a short walk, just far enough so he could poop. Brought him back in. Gave him more time, left on him more. Then took him for a walk, just thinking I'm gonna go around the block. But he wanted to keep on going, so we kept on going. Came out, drank water. Sparkles back in his eye. Under the best doctor supervision. It doesn't happen that quick. Live in the moment. Do what you gotta do. The things that you did yesterday do affect tomorrow. The screw ups you do today don't limit your tomorrow. The screw ups someone else did in the past don't mess you up. My mom abandoned me. I learned how to love. I had to love her. In order to do so. It wasn't hard because I accepted the gift. So it wasn't on me that, ooh, I gave you my gift. Forgive anybody you need to forgive. Walk kindness with anybody you need to walk. Love everyone. Enjoy your jumps. And yell my name out. Have fun. I love you.